Good evening, everybody. My name's Dana Lyons, and it's getting on towards 9 p.m. here in Bellingham, Washington, and it's getting close to bedtime here across North and South America. You're in different parts of the day across the world, morning, noon, and night, but here we're getting on towards bedtime. And I wanted to sing a pretty song for you and tell you a little bedtime story. Tonight, I would like to dedicate this to my friends and my family in New York City and in New York State. And I grew up in New York State, and I have a lot of people in both New York City and New York State. And I know you're having a rough week, rough day. And I just want to send my good wishes to you and sing you a pretty song and tell you a little story. This relates to my grandmother there in upstate New York. She's no longer with us, but she's with us in spirit on this live stream. And I just want to wish you a peaceful evening. It's almost midnight in New York, and so you can get a good night's rest and continue on tomorrow. And I hope your spring is as beautiful as ours is here. I'm rarely home in April. That's a big touring month for us musicians, but none of us are on tour. So one of the cool things about being home now is I get to watch the plants unfold every day and the leaves get bigger. And today the rhododendrons bloomed. It was just spectacular. But here's the tune, and I'll tell you the story afterwards. This is called My Tiny Room. There are flowers on my windowsill, and everyone looks like the sun. The sun is within everyone. I can see the whole world from my tiny room. There are bees in the flowers, rolling in pollen and fun. The sun is within everyone. I can see the whole world from my tiny room. There are children out my window. They laugh and they squeal as they run. The sun is within everyone. I can see the whole world from my tiny room. There are soldiers out my window, all of them daughters and sons. The sun is within everyone. I can see the whole world from my tiny room. There are planes out my window with weapons that shine like the sun, where all life is fragile and one, I can see the whole world from my tiny room. I see God out my window, and I see that God shines like the sun. Another spring day has begun. I can see the whole world from my tiny room. There are flowers on my windowsill, and everyone looks like the sun. The sun is within everyone. I can see the whole world from my tiny room. That's my song, My Tiny Room. And I remember the first time I sang this for my parents, my father said, "Oh, that's written for your grandmother," my father's mother, my Grandma Lyons. And her name was Marguerite. And when she was like 33 or 35 years old, she had an infection in her sinuses and in the bone, and they had to remove this bone where your eyebrow is, and her face was always a little sunken there her whole life, and it made her very vulnerable to the cold. So she lived her whole life in upstate New York, and she couldn't go outside in the winter because it would kill her. She was that vulnerable. So she would live huge parts of the year from inside my grandparents' house, but she would communicate through the phone and telepathy, and we could feel her love all over the place. And when there were power outages in those years, and they were quite frequent, she would go in the smallest room of the house because there was no heat in the house, and she would light 20, 30 candles, and it was the bathroom. So she'd be in the bathroom, and she was very thin. She weighed, I don't know, like 85 pounds, and light all these candles, and that's how she would keep warm. But my father thought, "Oh, that's like your grandmother because she looks out her window and she can see the whole world." And right now, some of us are living in our tiny rooms, and we're all kind of isolated. We're in our homes. We're trying to stay healthy and be respectful of the rest of the community. But I wanted to sing that because some of our rooms are larger than others, but and it's challenging. Some of us are alone. Some of us can talk to other people. We can do the video and all that. Some of us have some family members there, but as we all know, this is an awkward and challenging time, and it can be a bit lonely sometimes. But that's why I wanted to sing this song and send it out to you all, and just send in love, and take a nice deep breath. And I hope for those of you in North and South America where it's bedtime, I hope you can get a good night's sleep and get up and do it again tomorrow. And slowly but surely we will figure this out and get through it the best we can. But here's to you, all my friends and family in New York City and New York, in your tiny rooms looking out over the world. And sweet dreams, carry on. The spring is here and the summer will arrive. All right. Good night.